What would it feel like to be exactly who you are at your core and never have to think about whether your shell fits a certain belief or idea, the ideas that have been conditioned and planted in your mind? Imagine feeding your internal seed, the seed that becomes more of itself, the seed of love. And through that love, everything you do, everything you become is an act of love. You begin to move your vessel not through guilt or punishment, but instead as an act of love, embracing the blessing of having an incredible sacred vessel. You begin to eat, not to restrict, alter, punish, but instead to nourish, heal, and honor your sacred temple. When our decisions come from love, they literally become love, and there are no flaws. There are only expressions of love. Imagine not having to spend so much time worrying about how you look, how much you wish to change, how much could be fixed, could be different, and instead just loving what is and feeding that love. We chose this specific vessel because we knew it was the perfect fit. We knew that we would honor it in every way, and somehow along the way, through years and years of programming and conditioning, we've forgotten just how sacred and miraculous our bodies are. There are billions of cells that live in our bodies whose sole purpose is to keep us alive. Without conscious effort, our heart beats, our lungs fill with oxygen, our blood pumps, our muscles morph, our skin breathes. Every part has been perfectly designed. At our very core, we focus on life, on becoming more of what we are. And all these feelings of resistance block the flow of health and vitality. No more. We are remembering who we truly are, the miracle of our sacred temples. And so it is. Hello, my beauties. I am so excited for you to be here. Welcome to Module 1 of Soul Food. This is it. You took the leap. You are here. You are here to honor your vessel, to honor your soul, to honor exactly who you are at your core. And I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. I want you to keep an open mind throughout this course. We're going to go really deep into our own wounds. We're going to discover the parts of us that need a lot of healing. And I want you to work through this process at your own pace. I want you to feel safe here. It is a sacred space. It is very safe here. I've made sure that it's safe. I've infused it with love, as I know you will infuse it with love. And I want you to take only what you need. Don't overthink the process. Embrace it, enjoy it, have fun with it. So although I've given you all of these bonuses, we've collaborated with Irene, my sister, who's a personal trainer and a plant-based health advisor. So although we've given you an exercise plan and a meal plan, don't take it too literally. Be flexible, be open, as I want you to be in your entire life. I don't want you to have to follow any stringent rules. There are no rules. You get to decide. You get to be free, and we will break through that freedom during this course. But I want you to be open. So I'm saying that first off the bat because I want you to know going into this that there are no rules, that although I'm sharing my story with you, sharing the techniques and tools I use to break through my own body issues and my own mind-body disconnect, that it will be different for each of us, and each of us need to take and embrace what is. I will help you tap into your own inner being, and through that process, your body will talk to you, your soul will talk to you, you will be led. And I will teach you how to listen to that inner voice in order to make the right decisions about your mind, body, and soul. All right, so Module 1 is all about the mind-body connection. Now, this is a connection that we are all born with. It comes with us from the spiritual world and it will leave with us. We chose these vessels. We chose to connect with this particular physical flesh. And through our own conditioning and programming of this physical world and of our environments, we have morphed the idea of the mind-body connection. And often we've lost it completely. We've silenced it to a point that it still exists, it still speaks to us, but we can no longer hear it. We can no longer hear it through the screams of our own beliefs, of our own truths, the truths that have been conditioned upon us, that have been programmed and planted into our minds as seeds and have grown into truths that aren't really real, truths that only live within our minds. So we are going to break free from that all today. We're going to dive deep into the mind-body connection, and I hope you are ready to explore your own physical body. Okay, so I wanted to start this session off by pulling a card from this beautiful deck of cards that I have illustrated by a beautiful woman called Anna Tavorsa. And I will put her handle on here on Instagram so you can check her out. So I pulled a card for everyone in Soul Food, and it's very incredible what came out. And of course, everything happens intuitively. And the card that came out is this one. And it says, I silence my mind and listen intently. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to silence our mind and listen to our inner voice, our inner being, the one that guides us to love, because it is love, and everything that comes from it is an act of love. On that note, I want to start this session off with what does it mean to truly, deeply love and accept yourself? That real love, not that artificial love, not that love where I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling myself today, or I look good today, or I'm happy that I've lost those 3 kilos, or I'm happy that I'm eating healthy, or I'm happy because of. I want you to be happy just because. There doesn't need to be a reason. Be happy because of what is. Be happy because I exist. Be happy because I am alive. Be happy because I'm grateful for my vessel. Right? Truly, deeply love and accept yourself. And this is beyond. This is something that we find very hard, including myself. I went through my own eating disorder. Now, if you're a part of this course, I assume that you've read the sales page where I share my story about my own body dysmorphia, binge eating, my own history with body issues and mind-body disconnect. If you haven't, I do recommend that you visit the sales page. I will link it in the workbook so you can access it and reread my story. I don't want to waste time here sharing the story again when I've written it all there. And you can understand what led me to this place right now. It led me to a place where I really, truly honor and appreciate my vessel. I nourish it accordingly. I move it accordingly. I feel it. I listen to it. I honor it. And I want you to be in that place too. It's a really beautiful place. It's a really beautiful place when you can honor and love and accept yourself truly deeply because of who you are at your core. Now, who we are at our core is love. We come from love, and to love we shall return. And the journey here is a journey of love. It's an expression of love in whichever way we choose to do it. And we chose these particular vessels. Like I've mentioned before, we chose this particular vessel. There is no flaw. There is nothing that needs to be fixed. All that we need to do is honor it the way it already honors us. The cells in our body's sole purpose is to keep us alive. Now, let's imagine that just for a moment. There are billions of cells in your body, and each one of them, its entire focus for its entire existence is only to keep you alive and well. Its entire focus is your well-being. And yet, for whatever reason, you yourself have issues or have blocks or have resistance in allowing your own well-being. At our core, our focus is life, it's vitality, it's well-being, it's love. It's a very high vibration, and through the conditioning of the world, through our own self-imposed beliefs and limitations, we silence those feelings of well-being and vitality. And through that silencing, we introduce sickness and pain and body issues and mind-body disconnect, because at our core, they do not exist. At our core, it is only a vibration of well-being, and it's only through our own limitations that we silence that, right? You can never be on a vibration of sickness. You can only ever be resisting well-being, right? So you are not vibrating at a vibration of sickness. You are instead resisting the vibration of well-being. Knowing that truth makes it easy to break free, because I don't need to fix the sickness. All I need to do is reintroduce myself, reconnect with my inner being, the inner being that's already vibrating at the vibration of well-being, at health, at vitality, at love, at abundance, at everything in your life. Now, although this course focuses on the mind-body connection, you can introduce this concept into every element of your life. So one of the purposes of this course is to reconnect you with your body, to recreate that mind-body connection. Now that connection always exists, it always has existed, and it always will exist, but through, again, our conditioning, we silence that connection. All right, so what it means to truly, deeply love and accept yourself, it is to look in the mirror just as you are, in whichever way you are, and all that you see reflected onto you is love, is a being of light. Now that takes a lot of effort, and tears will come streaming down your face at times. And it's happened to me. I've looked in the mirror and all I've seen is someone that is suffering, someone who doesn't love themselves, someone who wants to fix everything, someone who's in pain. As you can see, this is stirring up a lot of emotions for me too, because I've suffered so much with my own body issues, and I've suffered so much in hating who I am. And the truth is that no one else gives a shit. No one else in the world. And living in a place where you feel that you have to prove yourself to other people, that you have to look a certain way to be accepted, to be worthy, to be loved. That's an issue all on its own. That's not just a mind-body disconnect. That's a disconnect with the entire world, because that's not how it is. The world is a reflection of you. So if I love and accept myself truly, deeply, just as I am, then the entire world will love and accept me just as I am. So the mission starts with me. Everything in your life starts with you. So you need to reconnect with your body. And how do you do that? You do that by silencing the beliefs and the thoughts and the chatter that goes in your mind that tells you that you are not well-being, that you are not love, that you are not perfect just as you are, that your vessel is not sacred and divine, right? Any thought that contradicts that truth, that belief, we must silence, and we must reprogram our minds. And we reprogram our minds by reliving a different truth, by speaking different words, by thinking different thoughts. That's how we reprogram, and it becomes a habit, because we're habitual creatures. And the more we think better thoughts, the more we feel better feelings, the more we vibrate better vibrations, the more we create a better feeling overall. And that's what we're here to do today. We are here to reprogram. I want you to be able to look at yourself just as you are and love yourself so much. And through that, I am a huge believer in the law of attraction. I practice the teachings of Abraham and I teach them accordingly. And one thing I know for sure is that you can absolutely think a different physical body if you choose to, but you have to do it when you are already in a place of love, in acceptance, in a place of feeling amazing just as you are. And it's only then that we can alter how we physically appear. Well, the place we're going to get at very soon is a place where that becomes really easy, right? Because when I'm feeling good about myself, regardless of how I look physically, I want to love myself. Everything becomes an act of love. I want to feed my body nourishing meals. I want to move my body. I want to honor. I want to rest when it's tired. I want a body brush to practice self-care. I want to get my nails done. I want to get my toes done. I want to moisturize. I want to spray my perfume. I want to use organic products, organic skincare, cruelty-free makeup. I want to love my hair. I want to put oil treatments in my hair. I want to feel beautiful at my very core and honor it accordingly. But that only comes when I feel good. If I'm applying my makeup because I feel ugly, then I'm never going to feel pretty. But if I'm applying my makeup because I already feel incredible, I'm enhancing that feeling. It's the seed that you plant that grows. Yeah, because that's the seed that you feed. If I plant hate and pain and struggle and disconnect, and I keep feeding that seed, then that's what will grow. And it will become more of itself. But if I plant the seed of love, of nourishment, of vitality, of well-being, and I continue feeding that through my habits, through my thoughts, through my behavior, through my acts, through my entire being, then that's what will grow and become more of itself. So the mind-body connection is so important because our vessels speak to us, our inner being speaks to us all the time. You'll notice that there are certain foods that just don't sit well with you. And you don't know why. You've never done a test to know whether you're allergic to a certain food or not. You just know it just doesn't sit well with you. For me, for example, it's capsicums, red capsicums specifically. If you're in the US or in any other part of the world, you may refer to them as peppers, right? So for me, if I eat a red capsicum, I know that I ain't gonna feel good. Doesn't matter how much I've tried, doesn't matter how much vibration I put into my meal, I will always feel a little bit off. It's my body's way of telling me that this piece of food is not for my vessel. And that's okay. I don't have to have it. I have to listen to my body and honor it accordingly. So I try to not consume food with red peppers. I don't tend to cook with it unless I really have to. I may have it occasionally, but I know that generally speaking, if I have too much of it, I won't feel that great. My body speaks to me. I never had to do a test. I don't need to go to the doctors and prove whether I'm allergic or whether I have an intolerance or whether any of those things. I know I listen to my body. That led me to the process of becoming vegan, of becoming a solely plant-based eating human being, is because I listened to my body intuitively. It told me that dairy didn't sit well, that eggs always made me feel sick. There was something off about eggs, that every time I ate meat, I would feel lethargic, I would feel drained, I would feel tired. You know, whenever I had fish, I consumed fish, I would always be left with a really sore stomach in the evenings. For me, it spoke to me very clearly. Now, obviously through my own education, through my own morals, I decided to make that transition to veganism, but it was an intuitive journey. It began as an intuitive journey, that mind-body connection that allowed me to listen to my inner being and honor it. So I started eliminating certain food groups, but you have to be careful to know whether you're hearing your body speak to you or whether, again, it's your mind trying to reprogram. Have you heard somewhere that this isn't good and therefore you've decided it hasn't good, and because of that conditioning, you believe it and your body will react to it in a certain way? Or is it that you believe everything is good and your body is actually speaking to you? So be careful not to get the two confused, because it's really easy to do. And I did this when I was going through my own body dysmorphia issues and I was eliminating every single food group on the planet because I believed that it didn't make me feel good. It was because of the conditioning. It was because of the programming saying that carbs will make you fat, that too much fat, will make you fat, that eating too much of this, eating at a certain time, eating more than a certain amount of calories, all of this will create all of these effects in my body. And so they did, but they did because I believed they would, and not because my inner being was actually speaking to me, because at the time there was no mind-body connection for me. All right, so it's so important to listen to our inner being, to listen to our vessel, to honor it. It will speak to you. Like at the moment, I was today meant to go to the gym and do a bit of a leg workout, but my legs are still so sore from my last leg workout that I just couldn't do it. And I have to honor my body. I have to let it recover. It's sore. And if your body's sore, it's telling you to rest. Okay, I don't need to keep pushing it. I pushed it enough, and today it's about honoring how I feel. Okay, so we have skewed and morphed the idea of how we should appear based on our own conditioning. How many magazines have you read? How many TV programs have you watched? How much have you seen in your surroundings growing up, especially today, all right, on how we should look? We need to have the Kim Kardashian ass. We need to have the flat belly. We need to have perfectly chiseled abs. We need to, be strong women who work out all the time, who eat a certain way, who appear a certain way, that look perfect in every outfit, that have perfect skin, that have a perfect face, perfect hair. We have to be everything all at once, and it gets exhausting. It gets exhausting to keep up with an image that isn't real, because no one ever can really get there. You look at Kim Kardashian herself, and beautiful, I love her, honor her, whatever. She loves herself, and good for her. But she planted those cheeks in her bum. She's had every cosmetic surgery on the planet. That look, that appearance is not real, and we work so hard to get there, but that's not real. And even those that are real, even those, I follow a lot of fitness models because I'm really into fitness and the gym, and they work out so much and they have these incredible bodies, but they live and breathe fitness. It is literally who they are. They become it. Right? They become these people who work out 3 times a day, that don't eat a gram off their program. And again, I honor them, I respect them, I appreciate them. But we cannot live that way. We have bodies, but we are not bodies. Right? We are spiritual beings living temporarily in this physical plane, and we need to honor it accordingly. So what I want us to do today is I want us to bring back to life who we are at our core, who we are right deep down. We are love, and it's the seed of love that we will grow. We have planted it right now in this moment. We've decided we have planted the seed of love. We are going to nourish it through the next 4 weeks, and we're going to let it grow and bloom. Now, know this is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to come back to moments where you feel that mind-body disconnect. It happens to me too, but we are going to learn techniques to be able to bounce back really quickly, to get back to a place of feeling good really, really quickly. Okay, so through understanding what's at our core, that core of love, we need to unlearn the conditions, unlearn the limitations. One being that our body, our vessel needs to look a certain way. It does not. We chose this vessel. It is perfect just as it is. It does not need to look any different than what we choose for it to look like. Another thing that we need to relearn, we need to relearn what we think about food. Now, for me, this was a huge journey, a huge process. Nothing is going to make you fat. Nothing. Too much, excess will. 100 calories of apple and 100 calories of chocolate are still 100 calories. So nothing is going to make you fat. It's how you honor the meal. It's how you honor the food. It's how you nourish your vessel. Now, all of these conditions we've accumulated throughout our lives, right? We've accumulated them and now we need to shed them. Slowly, we need to shed them one by one. It's going to take time, but we are going to get there. Okay, so now I want to talk about intuitive eating. Now, I'm all about intuitive eating. I spent years counting calories, restricting, having to measure everything, scan everything, and it became so exhausting. It drained me physically, mentally, emotionally. It drained every part of my body, every part of my being. So as I was talking about that mind-body connection, once you tap into that connection, once you're able to listen through the silencing of the conditions, through the reprogramming of your beliefs, and I will set out a number of exercises in the workbook that allows you to reconnect, different thoughts to think, different beliefs to program into your mind in order to reintroduce and remember that mind-body connection and to hear your inner being again. And through that process, you will be able to become an expert intuitive eater. Now, intuitive eater, basically to sum it up, is someone who eats when they're hungry and stops when they're full. Not more, not less. You're never starving and you're never about to explode. You eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full, regardless of what's on your plate. You will eat when you're hungry and you will stop when you're full. And it doesn't have to be always clean eating. It doesn't always have to be this big salad or a bowl of oatmeal. Obviously, that will be the majority of your meals because those things nourish your body, and that's what we want to do. And that's what I've set out for you through my collaboration with Irini in the eating plan, in order for you to nourish your body with micronutrients as well as the macronutrient requirements. But it's okay sometimes to have a burger, a veggie burger. It's okay sometimes to have, the fried chips if that's what you really want. But most of the time we fuel our bodies with nourishing food because that's what you want to do. Remember, I said once you reconnect with your body, once you've reestablished that mind-body connection, you'll want it to be an act of love. You'll want to serve your body what it truly desires. Okay, so up on the screen now, I've put a picture of the intuitive eating hunger scale. All right, so what you'll notice is from 1 to 2, that's where you're starving, weak, dizzy, very hungry, irritable, and low energy. That's a place you don't want to be at. You never want to be there. And I remember when I had my own body issues and I was dieting pre-Europe, I was always in that place. I was always starving, and that's not a good place to be. All right, then you'll notice from 3 to 6, you're pretty hungry, your stomach's growling, you're getting hungry, thoughts turn to food, you're neutral, neither hungry nor full, and then you're slightly full and satisfied. That's the place you want to be at. Again, you're starting to get hungry, you nourish your body, and you eat to a point where you're satisfied. You're slightly full, but you're not about to explode. Then you'll notice from 7 to 10 where you're full, slightly uncomfortable, you're feeling stuffed, you're very uncomfortable, and then you're painfully full and you feel sick. That's a place you don't want to be at. Now, again, I lived in those places when I would binge eat. All right, so I would starve myself and then binge eat. So I would be at a place where I was starving weak, 1 to 2, and then I would get to a place where I was very uncomfortable and painfully full and feeling sick, 9 to 10, right? And I wasn't staying in the middle range. So what we want to do is we want to get to a place where we stay in the middle range, of intuitive eating. And if I constantly have that scale in my mind, all right, so if I'm feeling a bit hungry now, I can hear my tummy growling, I need to listen to that. I don't need to wait. I don't need to push it. Doesn't matter if I've eaten an hour ago. If my body's telling me I'm hungry, then I am. It's asking for nutrients. That's what a lot of us don't realize. Some days I've exerted more energy than other days. So some days I'm going to want to eat more. And then other days I'm not hungry at all and I don't have to eat as much. Listen to your body. It speaks to you. There's no set times. You don't have to eat breakfast. You don't have to eat lunch. You don't have to eat dinner. You don't have to meet a certain daily energy intake. That's not how it works. Your body will speak to you. Some days days I've gone on a hike. Some days I've worked harder at the gym. Some days I'm sitting stagnant on my bed all day working from my office. I don't need as much energy. But listen to our bodies. If my body is telling me I'm hungry, then I need to listen to it and I need to nourish it. And then once my body tells me I'm full, I need to listen to that and then stop nourishing it accordingly. Now, over everything, I want you to focus on consistency. We are habitual creatures. We are creatures of habit. We do things habitually. So it's okay to have the treat once. It's okay to not eat once. It's okay to be off the scale once in a blue moon, all right? Not even a blue moon. Once in a while, that's okay. But consistency trumps everything. Consistency of eating healthy. That's why creating meal plans are good for a lot of people, because it allows you to program your entire week. You don't have to be strict about it. Like, I have my meal plan that I go off every week. I cook every Sunday and I have a whole bunch of meals in my fridge ready to go for the week. But if I go out for lunch, it's okay. If I want to make a treat that day, it's okay. If I want to change my meal that day, it's okay. I don't have to follow a strict schedule, but I have an idea of how I'm going to move forward with my week. And I love it because I do that. I'm able to create my own habits. I'm able to be consistent with how I nourish my body. I know that I work out every day, every single morning. All right, so for me, it's just a habit. It's something I do consistently. It's not me working out twice this week, none at all next week, and then 5 times the next week and then worrying about it. I just know every day, 6 days a week, that I will get up and I will move my body. And it doesn't always have to be the same. Some days I will do weight training. Some days I choose to do yoga. Some days I choose to go on a hike. Some days I choose to just stretch. Some days I choose to dance in the mirror. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I listen and move my body accordingly. All right, so I listen to what I need. I want to move my body. It helps me with my digestive flow. It helps me clear my body. And that's just something that I choose to do every day. This is another core belief that we're going to try and reprogram. Nourishing food is important. Good, healthy, plant-based food and fuel is important. But it's not the only thing that matters. Right now, I live under this incredible philosophy in life. And I shared it with everyone who participated in my Allow More course. And I'm going to share it with you today. Everything I do in life fits into 3 categories most of the time. It's either for my body, for my soul, or for my progress. Now, an example for my body is things like eating nourishing meals. It's things like moving my vessel, going to the gym. It's things like body scrubbing. It's things like doing my hair. It's things like having a shower, washing my hair, things like that that are for my body. Then there are things for my progress. Things for my progress are things that usually are career oriented. Things like creating content, having client meetings, networking, recording videos, investing in myself, investing in programs, reading, studying, all of those types of things for my progress. Then there are things for my soul. This is probably for me more important than the other 3. They're all just as important, but I love the things for my soul. For my soul, it's just things that make my soul feel good. Sometimes it's reading a book. Sometimes it's going to bed early. Sometimes it's watching some TV. Sometimes it's eating the piece of chocolate cake. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes it is for my soul. My soul wants it. It's not for my body. It's not for my progress, but my soul wants it, and it's going to make my soul happy. But if it does not fit into one of those 3 categories, then it ain't for you, right? If you're eating this cake through guilt, or because you're upset about something, or because you know what, you're stuffed your day anyway, I'm just going to shove this cake down my mouth, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. Right? You've got to do it because it enriches your life in some way. Everything that I do in my life makes my life richer. Sometimes it makes my body richer. Sometimes it makes my progress richer. Sometimes it makes my bank account richer. Sometimes it makes my soul richer. Sometimes it's just pleasing my soul, and that's okay. But what you'll notice is when you do that, when I honor my soul, when it's for my soul doesn't want too much. Often it's the first few bites that are enough. I'll eat the whole piece of chocolate cake. But what I'm saying is my soul doesn't need me to binge eat. My soul doesn't need me to eat too much, because my soul knows that I will honor it whenever it asks for it. So if in 3 days my soul asks for another treat, I'm going to honor it and listen to it. If my soul tomorrow asks me to go on a detox, I'm going to listen to it and honor it. Okay, so I listen to my soul, I listen to my body, I focus on things for my progress, I listen to my inner being, and I'm guided and led accordingly. Now, I want you for a moment to think about your beliefs and your thoughts about food, or even certain types of food. Now, they are truths that live inside your mind and that have been planted into your mind, and then they've grown and flourished, and now they become your truths, but they're not real truths. For example, like I spoke about earlier, about, certain food groups making you fat, like you cannot have carbs. How many diet fads tell you got to cut out carbs, you can't eat after 8 o'clock. Forget about chocolate, forget about rice, forget about bread, forget about fruit. Fruit has way too much sugar. That's not real. Everything is a micronutrient. Every piece of food, think of it as fuel. Think of it as nourishing your vessel. If I grab a piece of dark vegan chocolate, for me it's all right, so what micronutrients are in this that are going to fuel me right now? Now, often if I'm grabbing the chocolate, it's for my soul. I still, as I eat it, think to myself, it's not something that I have to feel guilty about. Right? For me, there are so many antioxidants in chocolate. There are so many minerals, vitamins, things that are going to nourish me, things that are going to make me feel good. Cacao, I'm actually going to a sacred cacao ceremony in a few months that talk about how exceptional and healing cacao is, raw cacao. And most of the chocolate that I consume is raw chocolate, and it's made out of, organic raw cacao powder. So for me, that is so sacred. It's special. I'm honoring my body and I never feel sick from it. I love it and I'm nourishing it. So think about your beliefs about certain foods. I will list it as an activity in the activity book. I want you to write down what you think and what you believe about certain foods. Like, for example, eating too much will lead to this, or eating not enough will lead to this, or, taking weight loss tablets will help you do this, or if I don't exercise a certain amount, I'm not ever going to lose weight, or there's certain food groups you need to eliminate or need to go without, or you can only eat fruit in the morning, or forget about juices, or forget about this, whatever your beliefs are about food, and even more so your body. So looking a certain way, feeling a certain way, appearing a certain way in order to feel loved, accepted, valued, beautiful, all of those things. I want us to write them down and I want us to reprogram them. So once we've written them down, I want us to acknowledge the fact that they only live inside our minds because of our own conditioning. And through that acknowledgement, through that knowing, we can now change that belief. We can pivot away from it. We can reprogram the belief and believe something else. Think a new thought that feels better. And that's what we're going to do. And through that process, we are going to reestablish the connection between mind and body. And we're going to hear the call of our inner beings. And that call from the inner being will lead to intuitive eating. It will lead to intuitive healing, because I believe that we can heal ourselves. Our minds can heal us. That doesn't mean I'm against modern medicine and all of those things, so please don't take everything I say as literal, but I do believe that there is a power in intuitive healing. Our bodies naturally heal and it heals on its own. We don't have to do anything, but if we don't believe they will, then we resist that healing. Okay, so the goal for today is to tune into your body and listen to what she's saying. Tune into that inner being, to silence the thoughts. So we're going to reprogram the thoughts we're going to bring them to the surface through the workbook. We're going to acknowledge that they aren't truth. We're going to reprogram them. And then through that reprogramming, we're going to tune into our inner being with our new beliefs, embodying them, creating consistent habits. And those consistent habits will lead to our bodies speaking to us. We'll create that mind-body connection. So we'll just know what to do. We'll know what to put on the plate. We won't have to think about it. For me, cooking is so easy. I don't even have to think about it. I'll open the fridge, take out a whole bunch of ingredients and create a masterpiece. Because for me now, my body knows what it wants every day. And it just does it. I don't have to think about it. It just does it. And I'm going to teach you that in the next module as well, all about food for your soul. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I know it was quite long, but it was important. It was sacred. It was about us tapping into our bodies, learning to love ourselves for who we truly are. We are love, okay? And you are nothing but love. You are nothing less than worthy. Okay, you are worthy just because you are. You are worthy because you're here. You chose this sacred vessel. I want you to honor your sacred vessel, even when it's hard. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to touch the part of you that's hurting. Often for me, it was my stomach. I often have issues with my female organs, my reproductive system, and I touch my ovaries and I say, so I'm touching the part of my body that I haven't honored properly, and I say, I love you. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that I haven't honored you the way you deserve to be honored. And from now on, I'm going to honor you the way you deserve to be honored. And I love you. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you keeping me alive. I'm grateful for you nourishing me. I'm grateful for all the work that you do. I'm grateful for the way you love me. And I will love you just as you love me. And I am sorry that I have not honored you the way you deserve to be honored, but I love you. And from now on, I will honor you the way you deserve to be honored. And repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you feel the energy. If it's your stomach, if it's your breasts, if it's your shoulder, if it's your mind, if it's your head, if it's your bum, if it's your legs, whatever area of your body, do it to every area that you feel you need, and continue doing it until you feel good about it. All right, and once you've done that, every day, if you're still feeling ill feelings, I want you to do it again. I want you to say, I love you and I'm sorry that I haven't honored you the way you deserve to be honored, and this is how I'm going to honor you moving forward, and continue that process. Okay, I love you so much. I know I've talked a lot, but I have so much to say, and I'm so looking forward to the next episode. You're going to absolutely love it. Food for your soul. This is why Soul Food was born. All about food. There's going to be recipe videos. It's going to be all about what types of food you should be eating, the vibration of food, and how to understand the vibration of food, and basically that we are what we consume through food. All right, so I will leave that all for the next episode. I love you so much, and I will see you then. Ciao.